Transfer Show. Me, Rob Gutmann in the chair. I think Mo does it usually. Mo's not well still. Get well again, Mo. I'm saying this on every
get
show.
Well, yeah. Get well,
yeah,
Mo.
yeah.
Did Glastonbury break him? Was that what happened?
It is funny how after Glastonbury, Mo is not well.
I think it's the no transfers breaking him, but Rob's made a.
Well, so he's mentally broken because there's nothing going on.
I've got James Sutton, I've got Sean Rogers, and we're here to cheer Mo up, and we're here to cheer the Liverpool supporting nation up. What to talk about, boys, in a world without transfers? Well, yesterday a bit of a thing, a furore, as James called it beforehand, kicked off on the Twitter, because Dom King of the Daily Mail, who reports on the local patch, a very fine journalist, Dom, and I think he needled the support quietly, and he also needled other people around the world in the football media. Dom said, it's worth categorically saying now that Liverpool have absolutely no interest in Nicolas Pépé. If we remember Nicolas Pépé, the Lille striker, second top scorer in Ligue 1 behind Mbappe, very good player. Been linked to Liverpool all summer. Dom continued, for all the stories that are coming from the continent, it is not a deal that will be happening. Boo, Dom, said the Liverpool supporting world. Boo.
Bad news, Dom.
Bad news, Dom. Bad news, Piercy, only dead in his echo grave.
He's still warm.
He's still warm. He's just elsewhere.
The title's fully transferred now, isn't it?
Well, anyway, so within minutes of Dom posting this, Get French Football, for whom a journalist called Bouhafsi works, I've mentioned many times on our podcast show, The Gutter. Bouhafsi gets stuff, but he's been linking Pepe to Liverpool all summer, and Get French Football, who he works for, have as well. And they rather snidely came back at Dom King's tweet. Did he call it subtweeting still, and said, fantastically entertaining watching Liverpool brief English media on Nicolas Pépé. It had only been Dom who'd done this, so it was a bit needly. They go on to say, Liverpool were far more willing to not deny links to Nabil Fekir last summer because the player wanted to join at all costs. Pépé is yet to demonstrate that desire so far. It's nothing personal. He hasn't made noises positively or negatively to any club yet. This is fascinating stuff, Sean. I'm choosing to believe the French angle.
To be fair, Rob.
Wow, what a surprise. I know. What do you believe in your heart of hearts? Do you think this is a player Liverpool are tracking, given the noises that come from the continent, despite the denials from the Mersey?
I would say 100% Liverpool are tracking him, but I mean, we could say that about probably any footballer over probably 13 years of age, I imagine, or even younger, I suppose. So, yeah, Liverpool will definitely be tracking him, and you look at it, you could see that being a very good fit. The thing with Liverpool being so far ahead in everything we say about transfer windows and their planning, you wonder whether, is this to supplement, irrelevant of whether it's him or not, if Liverpool are looking at a forward, is it to supplement the existing forwards? Is it to get a replacement in advance, maybe? What's the succession planning going on with the front three? You know, if you're at Liverpool right now, you'd be saying, wow, you know, the big five, the front three, the centre half, the goalkeeper, we have to, under this reign, always have a big five. You know, they've seen that if you're modelling this, you go, we can do loads of stuff with the rest, and we can probably be a bit creative with the rest, maybe be a bit moneyball with the rest, but we need them pieces of the jigsaw in place constantly. So I'd be surprised if Liverpool were going to leak to this many journalists like Melissa, and you know, they're all singing off the same hymn sheet, aren't they?
Yeah.
I can't believe that Liverpool wouldn't have given them the nod to say, listen, we need you to do this, and we appreciate this might make you look rubbish in the future if something changes, because they've all gone, but something could happen unless something pops up, or unless something
a unique opportunity. We keep hearing. Yeah.
The difference with Pepe is they've actually come out and said no. This, you know, we've contacted the club, and like I think Paul Senior was joking, like, how many clubs are we going to phone then? Why phone them and not everyone else that we're linked with and stuff? So I think I'd probably err on Lille. Have got Lille and the French journalists. They've got a vested interest in this, because look at what's going on in Spain. Everyone's linking people with Liverpool to boost transfer fees, generate interest. They know that everyone's admiring Liverpool's transfer business and want to copy what Liverpool do. So it will go on. If teams think Liverpool are in for someone, there'll be other clubs going, aye, we know how these guys work. We need to have a look ourselves. So I'd probably err on the side of Liverpool being right and this not being right. However, like we were saying yesterday, if Liverpool are going to move for anyone, I can see it being late, swift, to avoid anyone jumping on that bandwagon.
James, we make a big deal in World Cup years about how the transfer window won't get going till after there's a World Cup. we are inclined, I think, to diminish the AFCON and the Copa America and their importance. And we said this on our podcast yesterday. They're just as big blocks for the transfer market movement as the World Cup is. Especially, Liverpool have 3 Africans now. Yes, Naby. Yes, sorry, we have Naby, Salah, and Mane. We've got an African contingent. We've bought well from that continent. It's not far-fetched to think we might go there again, and that we might have to wait till after that tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally get everything you just said, but also I think, yes, it adds to our African contingent, which we do. We work really well with these lads. But also, if you look at that position on the pitch, we're only a Shaqiri injury and one more away from we're a bit thin, and the drop off. If you look at the players that can play in those positions up top, after you go through the first sort of 5 names in your head, the drop-off's actually quite significant. So it wouldn't, we as fans can see that from the outside. I'm sure they've already identified it. It would strike me that a player of that calibre would fit perfectly in our squad.
Yeah, Sean, I've tried to talk myself into the fact that the transfer-free summer there'll be method in that apparent madness. Klopp knows what he's doing. The warmth he has within the family environment. It's better to keep the group together. It's better to develop those who are still within the group. Take Origi up a level. Don't block Brewster. All those kind of narratives that Liverpool have begun to feed through. And then I sit back and apply colder, harder logic and go, it doesn't ring true. It's bullshit. Liverpool had the front 3 they currently have, and they had Philippe Coutinho not so long ago. And when Philippe Coutinho wanted to go, they tried to move heaven and earth financially to keep him, reluctantly let him go. Then within 6 months tried to spend 60 million on bringing Nabil Fekir in. I don't buy that need went away during the course of a season. I don't buy that it just dissipated. There were some who put forward the conspiracy theory that the Fekir money that was then moved to Alisson. But then that presumes that Liverpool were going to settle for Danny Ward or Karius. I don't buy that either. So Liverpool always knew when they came into last season's summer transfer window, they always knew their primary targets were going to be Fekir and Alisson. They got one of them. And I still believe they must be after something akin to that, at least a front 3, front 4 player.
Yeah, I wonder whether Liverpool would say the need hasn't gone, but the assets we've got available to us have changed. So if you go back in time, you could make a case. There's no guarantee that Fekir and Shaqiri would have been signed. Liverpool could have been using Shaqiri at the time as a bargaining tool on Fekir and the backup. It would have been similar to when we signed Van Dijk. I was a little bit nervous about the medical on that, because when you've got a guy of his size, his weight, his strength, suffering injuries to the ankles, I was a bit nervous about how that would play out. It's actually been fine. When you look at Nabil Fekir, they'd have known instantly there could be a knee problem here.
They know his record from the previous 2 years.
Exactly.
There's no secret.
So you'd have Shaqiri lined up. Now they may take the view, well, yeah, we did have those needs, but we've seen stuff leaked, commented on in the last 24 hours that Edwards, Mike Gordon, which is an interesting name to throw into the mix, rate Divock Origi very, very highly. We're very supportive of him in his dark days. Klopp is aware that the Funes Mori hack, and that idiot, how long does that cost Origi to get back from that? So it might be that they feel that they may feel internally much stronger about Origi's ability and ceiling than what we do. Mm-hmm. And also Ryan Brewster, we don't get to see him in training. We don't get to see how he's recovered from the injury. We don't get to see what promises have been made to Ryan Brewster. Now, they may take the view that between all the midfield options we have right now, with Shaqiri still being at the club, with Brewster, Origi, etc., they may take the view, yes, the need's there, but that need's been fulfilled. And they may take the view that I want to give these guys enough rope, basically, to see how they perform. So I agree with you, the need's there, but I think they might argue that, and also system, we're all assuming they'll play 4-3-3 again, because that's how we ended. Yet last year we were really flexible and we played a load of 4-2-3-1. If you put it in that kind of a context...
You bring Chamberlain and Keita back into it more and you say you're a bit
Agreed.
deeper. I do wonder, though, James. I'm still not quite having it. I mean, Sean's putting forward the argument, and I do, and I've put them forward myself, that we could yet stick this summer if the opportunity doesn't arise. And I think maybe perhaps they're preparing themselves to stick if need be. But let me put something to you. I wonder how badly scarred the club still are by let's call it the scandal of the early leak of the Virgil van Dijk potential transfer 6 months before it actually happened. And the near ban Liverpool got for tapping, was it Stoke teenager?
Yeah, it was a bizarre thing that, yeah.
So, but particularly the Van Dijk thing, Liverpool obviously were confident of that deal at some stage, and someone in the club, I think, said to one or two on the press patch, it's a done deal, this. And it came out that bit too early, and it really upset the apple cart, the selling club, Southampton in this case. I wonder if there's not now a ruthless policy just to deny to the extent of barefaced lying, if we can call it that.
Yeah, I mean, it was hugely embarrassing for the club, the whole Van Dijk saga. I mean, you know, it's still, I think we're mentioning it now, but it is still brought up as a kind of benchmark of how not to do business in the modern era, certainly in the Premier League. So I can absolutely see the argument that they will strike very, very swiftly, and we won't hear anything about it. I mean, actually, there hasn't been a huge amount coming out of the club, full stop, really, regarding any transfers. You know, we are now in a place where we're an incredibly attractive proposition to anyone in world football, probably the most attractive proposition. So actually, our work is actually very, you know, the club's work's very, very easy. So for them to just, you know, it can be happen very, very quickly. We're in, there's a conversation, it happens, and the player joins our club immediately without all this toing and froing which they've been burnt with before. So yeah, I mean, I think it's, I think that's what will happen.
Imagine Klopp, Edwards and Pepe on the big one with Kiss Me Quick hats on in Blackpool, sorting out the deals.
Do you think there's a degree, and I count ourselves loosely within the media, Sean, but certainly, you know, we're not in the mainstream media who are putting out the MSM, to use conspiracy theories, who are putting forward what they believe Liverpool are briefing them, which is no business is being done unless unique opportunity, small buys under 20 million. Are we all a little bit in danger of being a bit unquestioning on this? I know this isn't. We're not questioning Boris Johnson here or politicians who need to be held to account exactly. But is there a degree to which, I don't know, some of us need to turn around to Liverpool and go, come off it. The fans aren't this stupid.
If there is a line in this, it might be, like I said before, Peter Robinson, give you an example, one for the kids. When we were trying to sign Didier Man, Peter Robinson phones all the Newcastle and Sunderland papers and says, we're about to sign Stefan Schwartz. You can quote me on it, this is what we're going to do. And they all ran the story. And Newcastle panicked because Haman had said, that is the only place that I'm going to. Days later, Liverpool do the deal. Peter Robinson couldn't have given two wild ones as to what those newspapers thought of him. He didn't do it to the local patch, though, because that's who he needed to build rapport and relationships with. So I think if Liverpool were going to do this with that group, they're not just
They did it with Alisson a bit last year.
They did. They're not just burning your Melissas, your Dominics, your James Pearces, your Neil Joneses. It's the Liverpool guys. Exactly, Rob Gutmanns. It's the Liverpool press guys who have to deal with these on a daily basis. Maybe they've gone, look, we need to be careful here. We've all got the best interests of the club at heart. People are looking to piggyback what we do. So this is what the line needs to be. And it pretty much is. But there are players we're watching that if the right circumstances come along, we are going to go for it. So you can protect yourselves a little bit with that little sub-line, but you need to go with this line. Because the problem is, you know, what you do in business or in life or anything, do you build your skyscraper up bigger than your competitors, or do you just try and rip theirs down? And with Liverpool right now, with the stuff that went on in the academy level with the Stoke player, with the stuff that went on with Van Dijk, the Chelsea ban, stuff hanging over Manchester City, allegedly at the moment.
Can't take that chance.
If if I see Liverpool getting to back-to-back Champions League finals, and I don't think Barcelona are probably any big fans of ours at the moment, for a number of reasons. If Liverpool step out of line, I'd be right into UEFA, the sport of arbitration, the Premier League. You know, if you can do anything to attack Liverpool right now, why wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? Why wouldn't you want to rip that skyscraper down? So I think Liverpool have to be ultra cautious on this. And the way that they said Edwards has contacted Lille, I mean, that to me is like, ignore that that's happened. It's more, why would you do it? And why would you leak that's happening? Like, that's too wild to make up, is it? So there's defo something going on, and I suspect Liverpool know. Everyone's trying to copy them, and like there is one bit of the French side of this story that I agree with, that if Pepe hasn't made a call on where he wants to go, I can well imagine Liverpool distancing themselves from that, because one thing we've done is we go in and we go out. There's been no egg on face. We'll never know which players have turned us down or walked away. It seems that Liverpool have got a pretty firm commitment by the player, and that he only wants us before anything gets out that we're possibly interested in them.
Let's wind this up. Do you think we're going to sign Nicolas Pépé, James?
Yeah, I do.
Yay! Hope you've enjoyed the transfer show. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, James. Get well soon, Mo.